What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Ken Jr. from Giving It a Try. We're talking about 50K trail prep right now. Tomorrow we're going to be doing the Shore to Shore 50K for the second time. 1 year ago we did this same event. We're going to go into it tomorrow a little more prepared. We've done the marathon distance a few times since then, and now this will be the second shot giving the 50K a go. What I do the week before any A race or big race or longer endurance event is I like to start prepping everything as we go, starting to think about that race plan, really getting it honed down, what I'm going to need that day. Start putting things in. If you can't do this or you don't have the time throughout the week, maybe carry like a little notepad around with you if you're at work or something. Just so when something pops into your head or something you remembered from a past race, you can jot it down quick so you don't forget. Last thing you don't want is to be out there on race day and say, oh, earlier in the week I remembered that and I forgot to put it on the table. So what we're going to do here is just going to go through some of the things that I acquired over the last week. We're going to hone it down and really get it ready and see what is really needed for this 50K. So there's going to be 5 aid stops in this trail run, basically every 5 miles. My thing is I'm going to try and get through the aid stops a little quicker this time and not really stop for too much besides the midway point. So that halfway point is really going to be the aid stop that I'm looking for, where I'm going to have to refuel, which you'll see in a second. So what we're going to jump into first is tomorrow morning. What are we doing tomorrow morning? Have that plan of what you want to eat beforehand, so you're not just thinking about it when you get up. Try and envision at least what time you're leaving, what time you're waking up, how much time you're going to have to maybe eat something. So tomorrow for myself, it's going to be 2 packs of oatmeal. We're going to throw in some peanut butter. We're going to bring a banana along with us. We're going to probably have this right about when we get to the event location or just as we're getting dressed, just to get topped off right there. As always, though, as soon as I wake up in the morning, is going to be this little drink elixir right here. This has been my go-to now for probably over 2 years. I made a video on this. What this is Bare Performance BPN. It's got strong reds, strong greens, a little bit of their In Focus. It's a cognitive enhancer, a little energy booster in the morning, and a little bit of electrolyte powder in here. But every day, regardless, the first thing I do when I wake up, I've been doing this for over 2 years now, is just mix this with 8 ounces of water, swig it down, and I just get tons of energy in the morning and some of those nutrients that your body's been looking for all night. And then we're going to get to race start. So as I'm preparing, that's what I'm doing. I'm figuring out what I need when I wake up, what I need for breakfast. Now what am I going to need for the start of the race? Obviously, we're going to need to wear some clothes. So we have everything that we're going to be wearing for tomorrow. We're going with things we've wore during training. Remember, nothing new on race day. So don't buy that new t-shirt or new shirt and try and wear it for that event. You don't know where it may chafe or rub or anything like that. So all this we've worn on some long runs before. We're going to be wearing some compression calf socks just to give a little support on the lower extremities there. And everything right here, this is something we've worn already. So this is just going to go, boom, right into the pile of what we need to get on in the morning. So now you're at the start line. You know what you have. Now 50K, what are we talking about? We're going to need some fuel. What are we carrying with us? What have you been practicing on? So don't overanalyze it. Our longest run through training was about 26, 27 miles. That's only a few miles short of the total distance. So we're just going to duplicate what I did on the training day and use what worked that day. I felt good that day. I felt fueled, so that's what we're going to go with. Orange mud. I use a 1 liter pack. This has been good basically for up to the 50K distance. If I step into anything in the future past that distance in the ultra endurance events, probably going to step up to something a little bigger, like a 2 liter that has some more pockets and things like that. This has the 1 liter bladder in the back. It has a little storage spot right here where you can take off an outer layer and kind of zip it on there. And in the front, it has 2 sets of pockets. You can put some snacks in here, or you can put another bottle, which I do plan on doing, is another orange mud bottle. So this is going to slide in right here in the morning, and we'll talk about what mixes in here in a second. The other pocket right here has always been good for me. Always good to store the GoPro in there. We're going to take some updates throughout tomorrow. Probably do some updates every 5 miles after each aid station, just to give you an update on how things are going with the race strategy. Make a video on that when we're done. It's got some trash pockets up front here. When I'm done with gels and things like that, I kind of just stuff the stuff right in here. When I see a garbage can or at that aid stop, I'll take it out and we'll empty it. Of course, we're repping for Team Blue Line tomorrow, raising money for fallen officers and their families. So we're going to carry the Thin Blue Line flag for the entire time throughout the trail and then we're also going to display it as we cross the finish line. So that comes with me the whole way down, all 31 miles. And now let's get into some of the, you got your bladder, you got that out of the bottle we're going to be carrying, but what am I putting in there? I've been an Infinite Nutrition product person for the last couple years. It just works for me. There's so many other brands out there, but again, train with something, experiment, and when you find something, lock it down, and there's no need to change after that. So for myself, what I'm going to do is I use basically 2 of their products, and again, I've made a video on this before, and that video still stands true to this day. I use GoFar and Jet Fuel by Infinite Nutrition. GoFar has no caffeine in it, and Jet Fuel does have caffeine in it. Basically, it's the only differences between the two and some of the flavors, basically. My plan is to take 2 scoops every hour, basically, which is what I do during my triathlons. 2 scoops of Infinite product. I'll start with the GoFar first, and then I'll progress and stage into a little bit of caffeine after the midway point. And then what I plan on doing is towards the end, which is going to be like the last 5 to 10 miles, is I'll switch more towards just more of the Jet Fuel, the straight caffeine product afterwards, just to give you that little extra energy, that little extra performance boost, kind of dig you out of that hole you might be almost going into, and trying to get you over that infamous wall that you wind up hitting. I'll have enough to carry on me. In the 1 liter, I'm going to have 4 scoops of that nutrition. In the bottle over here, I'm going to have 2 more scoops of it. And I'll have that mix laid out. Again, I'll be drinking from 1 just to get no caffeine, and then progressing into it to get more caffeine. At that halfway point at 15 miles, we are able to leave a drop bag. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do the drop bag yet or just pack these inside my bag. But broken down right here is just the mix I'm going to put into my liter pack, shake it up, and then the refill for my chest bottle right here, which this is going to be mostly Jet Fuel with some electrolyte powder in there, some extra electrolytes. And I actually like the taste of the electrolytes, so it actually makes the Infinite product, their base flavors, for me, taste that much better. So I'm not going to have to really take any of their liquid products out there, but I will also be taking just 1 cup of water at aid station as I'm going through, just to kind of dilute everything in my stomach a little bit, just to get a little bit of fresh water in there every 5 miles. This event is a cupless event, so what that means is you're going to have to bring your own cup. They make these nice fancy collapsible cups. You can get them on Amazon or at your favorite local running store. It's becoming more popular on these ultra, endurance events types things. A lot of it is giving back to the trails that you're running on. You're fundraising for them sometimes, and they're donating money to the trails that they're running on. So they really try and be as green as possible. They have these little pop-up cups like this from Amazon. So what I'll do is I'll get a swig of water as I'm going through the aid stops, maybe 1 or 2, again, just to get that fresh water in me, so it's just something more than just drinking this sugary drink the whole time. As well, what I'm hoping is, if I need it, towards the end, maybe the last aid stop or 2, if there's some soda, some Coca-Cola, that's been known to really dig me out of a hole at the end of a long endurance event. I like them on the end of some 70.3 events, and definitely at the Ironman last year, it was just amazing. And I remember reading some race reports recently of some 50 milers and some 70K participants in the area where, specifically in the end of that race report, they spoke about drinking Coca-Cola and how it saved their day, basically. So this will be stowed away in the pack. This will be my cup for the day. What other type of fuel am I bringing besides liquids? Let's talk about some of those solid fuels that we're going to be bringing. So for myself, what I did during training is I would sip basically every mile from my packs, get a good drink, get a good amount of fluid in. So that's going to be about every 9 or 10 minutes, just drinking fluid and getting those calories back in your body. And then basically every 5 miles, which I'll do at the aid stops, is stuff that I've taken during training. I'm going to alternate. I have some gels, some goo products, and some of their blocks. The gels are nice because sometimes you just want to get it in quicker and you don't really want to chew. Other times it's fun. You pop one of these in every couple minutes. You just kind of chew on them, let them sit there. It's just a different texture while you're out there. So it's nice to just have something more than liquid, have something more than just gel, and just have options. And then, of course, these have just been a go-to during training. Is at some point, no matter what, when I'm taking calories in, I just get hungry. My stomach at some point, I feel it just needs like food. So this really helps in that situation. It's just a Quaker Chewy chocolate bar. That's it. It's just some more calories, just some granola to settle the stomach and to keep going. don't be afraid at the aid stops. What I'm going to do when I'm out there is if they have some peanut butter and jelly, if they have some chips, definitely towards even, especially the last half of the run, I'll probably take in some of that here and there. Just something, whatever that you think is going to taste good, something to just satisfy you. Depending on your skill level out there, you're going to be out there from anywhere between 5 or sub 5 up to 7 hours. So that's a long time if you're not eating something appropriate out there as far as like an actual food product, instead of just taking in these gels, bars, and liquid drinks. Talking about some other gear that we're going to have out there, we're going to be wearing the Garmin heart rate strap. That's going to give me all the data I need to look at after a run like this. I trust wearing a heart rate all the time. I basically wear it 99% of the time when I'm out there, unless I forget it. And that's including in all my biking, running, and everything else. Just gives me a more accurate data field as opposed to doing it with the sensor on your wrist. As far as shoes tomorrow, we've been training. I spoke about it in one of my past videos. We are going to go with the Ultra Lone Peak 5s. They are that zero drop shoe that I switched to this year in the trails. Not 100% sold on them yet for anything past this season, but we're going to see how they do tomorrow. I did wear them on the 27 miler. They did feel good. My feet held up. Knock on wood, I haven't had too many foot or ankle issues through this training block as opposed to previous ones, and they are working pretty well. They did take a little while to get used to. As people said, you kind of got to wear your body into them because it is a lot different than wearing a 10 millimeter drop or a 5 millimeter drop or something that's a lot more supportive for the arch of the foot. But so far, I think they are helping. Along the way with that, I was doing strength training and a lot of ankle and lower body work to strengthen my arches and my ankles so that I could be able to wear a zero drop shoe like this. So that's everything we're going to have up until the finish line. Now, at the finish line, you just got to think about how soon you're getting out of there. Are you waiting for other people? What's the weather going to be like? Tomorrow, it's going to be probably in the low 50s, mid 50s by the time we're done, and it's going to be down by the water. I'll probably be warm when I stop. I'll be a little sweaty. I'll have some dry sweat on me. That means I'm going to get cold real quick. So very important to whoever's supporting you or crewing you down there. Everything's packed there in a bag tomorrow that they'll have there. Just a sweatshirt, pair of sweatpants, just clean clothes to put into, something you can just chill. And make sure they bring something you can hydrate with. And don't forget, try, even though some people don't like eating right afterwards, get something nutritious in you to start that recovery process afterwards. Even though you've been taking calories hour by hour as you have been going, you're still going to be in the negative and your body's depleted and broken down. So you need to start that recovery process. Don't wait 2 hours until you get home for it. And then one more thing, when we're done at that finish line tomorrow, out of a small group of us, I know of at least 2 of us that have been following along with the journey. Brian and Katie are going to hopefully, well, not hopefully, I know they're going to become ultra endurance athletes tomorrow by completing this 50K distance for the first time. So I'll give them a little surprise at the end. We are going to pop this bottle at the end when they come across that finish line, because this is something awesome. This is something that they've been grinding at for the last 3 or 4 months. And you know what? You just need to take a deep breath when you're done. You need to celebrate, kick loose for a little bit before you just get thrown back into the busyness of all your lives out there. So that's it. That's basically all the gear that I'm going to have tomorrow. I really tried to dumb it down this year, especially when I'm out there with fuel-wise, as opposed to last year. I'm going with one less pack than last year. I had brought some extra snacks in that. But I'm really going to try and, if I need anything else, really just rely on those aid stops. They are supposed to be very stocked, and that's the way we're going to go about that. We have this plan. We have this strategy. We hope there's no bumps in the road tomorrow. And if there is, we've had plenty during training as far as weather and other things and trail conditions. So we're ready for it. We're ready to get out there. We're ready to put the work in. I'm ready to be out there running for my why, raising money for Team Blue Line, 501c3 charity, helping injured officers and those fallen in the line of duty. And we're going to get after it. So don't forget, tune into this channel, subscribe so you can see how the race went. Later this week, I'll have that video posted. Give a thumbs up if you found this video at all helpful for you. And if any questions on anything related to this, please reach out. I'm always open to be talking about training tips, strategies, or anything else related to anything endurance sports wise. So that's all we got tonight. Time to pack it all up, keep hydrating, have a little snack, and get to bed. So that's it. Stay safe, stay healthy. Don't forget, balance that life 1 mile at a time, and we'll see you on the next one.